friendship that'll never ever end.
Run!
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Reaction Beanie Yo 383. Day in the neighborhood. My brothers and sisters. It is that time once again, my friends, to get into another one of these true crime, horror, dark, deep, and mysterious what the is going on type of videos. And it is Wednesday, y'all. So y'all know we're about to go back to who? Mike from that chapter. That chapter Wednesdays, y'all. Hope y'all doing excelente out there today. And I'm glad that you came on back to the channel once again to fuck with the bean. And the title of this video is Bad Grade Thrill Kill, the Nohema Graber Case. I don't know what Mike mean by bad grade thrill kill, but just off the top of my head, like the first thing that comes to my mind is that somebody got killed because they was having bad grades in school. You know what I'm saying? Like they was failing in school and maybe their mama or daddy got mad and ended up murdering their child or some craziness like that. Nah, I could be completely off base, but you never know, my brothers and sisters. When we watch these type of videos, you never freaking know. But I digress on that. We gonna go and get into it so we can find out. But before we get into it, y'all know what y'all got to do. Get whatever you may need. Get what you need. Another That Chapter Wednesday. Y'all got what y'all need? Y'all ready to go? Then let's fucking go.
Hey you, and welcome. My name is Mike, and in this old video, we are going to a high school in the town of Fairfield. Fairfield High School, so I shouldn't have to look at my notes too much. Fairfield is a small town, and what do we know about small towns? Always up to no good. Sometimes there really is just nothing to do. Kids get bored, make a ruckus. You know the drill. Well, two teens in particular are the subject of today's video, because when one of them got his test results back, all he saw was red. Figuratively, and then, quite soon, literally. Let's give it a go.
Let's give it a go. And get whatever you may need.
The town of Fairfield sits in southeastern Iowa, and it's a nice little town. Home to about 9,500 people. It sits smack dab in the Midwest. A landscape of big fat farmland as far as the eye can see surrounds. And within sits a nice quiet town, beautiful buildings, and a surprising number of startup companies and small businesses. And, according to their YouTube channel, they're not like other small towns. They're a cool small town. Sustainability is the name of the game in Fairfield. We want to keep those fields fair. And the town, it's a real melting pot of all types of folk, having large denominations of all religions, while also described as an international center for transcendental meditation. You will find like a little bit of everything in this small town, but I guess that includes what we're focusing on, the bad stuff. I mean, it really is just so hack to say, right? But there's really no other way of saying it. It's like, you know, a small town where nothing happens, so when it does, it's all the more shocking. Fairfield is home to 12 park and recreation areas, which is quite a few for such a small town. But there is one park in particular that a woman, Nohema Graber, 66 years old, loved to walk in. She would, every evening, go for a walk in Chautauqua Park on the east side of town. It's a lovely park with trails, bridges, rolling hills, and some of that good old nature. Nohema really loved it, but as she walked so often there every day, she got those steps in. Other people knew her routine. And one day,
Uh-oh.
they were stalking her as she walked through the park. And then they waited till they found a quiet area. This was on November 2nd, 2021.
And why would somebody attack a elderly woman walking through the park other than you evil as elf? You know what I'm saying, man? Like, this just, it's so, anybody can be a victim. Anybody can just be a target out here, and they won't even know they're a damn target. I'm just trying to, like, say, like, why would somebody be just deciding to attack a woman, watching her every move? Okay, she keep coming to the park every day. I'm gonna study and figure out when I can exactly attack her. Like, that is just so evil in my mind. Like, why do people even be sitting back thinking these thoughts and coming up with these crazy plans? Let's go.
Nohema was born in Mexico, Veracruz to be specific, in 1954, to parents No and Maria. After graduating high school, Nohema went to work as a flight attendant for Mexicana de Aviación, a now defunct airline company, and she worked there for 17 whole years, if you can believe it. During this time, she was in fact training to be a commercial pilot, and Nohema Grabber would be the very first woman in all of Mexico to be trained to fly passenger aircraft. Fair play to you. She loved traveling, she loved flying, she was an airhead. I mean that positively, though. It was during this she met Paul Graber at a party. One day, while he was on a business trip to Mexico, he gave her a call, not expecting her to pick up. But pick up she did. Her future husband became her actual one on October 4th, 1986, marrying in Mexico. And together, they would move to Paul's hometown of Fairfield in 1992. Nohema ingratiated herself into this small community, like, almost immediately. She would attend church mass every day. She became a leader, for the town's small but growing Latino community. And Nohema and Paul would have 3 children together: Christian, Jared, and Nohema. And it was later in life, when all of her children had grown up, that she decided to, hey, why not get into teaching? She attended Iowa Wesleyan University, got a degree in English and a teaching certificate, and went to work. Her first job was as a Spanish teacher in Ottumwa High School, and then later, in 2012, she became Spanish teacher at Fairfield High School. And there she was beloved by staff and students.
Oh shit, I done figured it out now, y'all. I understand the meaning of the title. One of her students, one of these kids at this school, killed this damn lady because she gave him bad grades. This is ridiculous, man. And I'm thinking, I guess, that he was following her through the park, you know what I'm saying? Catching her trail, so to speak, and attacked at the right time, which really is the wrong time, but in his mind it's the right time. I don't know, man, but that seemed like what it is, bro. This shit already sad, because how Mike just laid out how this lady, got married and had the kids, and she got elderly, her kids all grown up, and then this how she had to go out. Let's go, though.
Be remembered by those who graduated for her catchphrase, be more secure. Meaning, just be confident, be proud of yourself. And speaking of being more secure, let me talk to you for a minute about the Opera desktop browser.
Come back with a commercial, but for real, y'all,
somebody
man.
browsing something.
Like, man, it's just, oh man, life sucks sometimes, man. So freaking crazy, y'all. And y'all fuck with Mike and his opera, you fuck with that promotion. And let's go.
In the description or in the comments below to download Opera desktop browser today and get in on this. And so on November 2nd, 2021, after finishing up classes just before 4 p.m, straight after school, she drove over in her van to Chautauqua Park, just on the edge of town. As I said, she made sure she was very disciplined. She always made sure to get them steps in every day after school, every evening, late afternoon. She would go for a walk in the park. But on this day, she drove, she didn't come home. And then her husband Paul, he began to worry as night fell, as you can imagine. He went to Chautauqua Park to check on her. He knew her routine. but there was no sign of her 1997 Honda Odyssey van, and there was no sign of his wife, and so he reported her missing to the police. The next morning a search of the park began, and it's not terribly big, so it wouldn't be that intense. But on the north side of the park, a discovery was made. Nohema Grabber's body would be found in that park, off the trail near the railroad, hidden, concealed, under a tarp, a wheelbarrow, and railroad ties. When they found her, she'd been dead for many hours, and it seemed from first glance that the cause of death was extensive head trauma. She'd been beaten to death.
I just thought about it too. Even if this is the case, because we don't know, I'm just speculating, and it seems like this is the case, that one of her students killed her because of bad grades. Even if that is the case, bro, what you killing her gonna solve? Like, is that gonna automatically make you get good grades? Is that gonna freaking stop your parents from knowing that you failing in school? Like, what are you solving by doing this? I'm kind of irritated with this damn video. I don't know. Maybe I'm just in a bad goddamn mood today, y'all. But let's go.
Who could and would do this to this beloved Spanish teacher? Her van was spotted by a witness leaving the park at around 4:45 p.m., around 45 minutes after she had arrived. And a witness said inside there were 2 males. And her van was later found parked at the end of a country road, south of where her body was found. Another witness would say they had seen a man walking down the road with a wheelbarrow, of all things. What's she doing with that? So who were these guys? Well, it didn't take long to find out. That question would be answered the very day her body was found. Now, teenagers are, generally speaking, little shitbags. None more so than 2 little shits she had in her class. See, on November 3rd, again, the day her body was found, a student at Fairfield High School contacted the police. This was before Nohema's body had even been found, but she had been reported missing because she hadn't shown up to the school that morning. And, well, they were willing to talk to the police because they had seen online, on social media, these Snapchats. Those had been sent by a student at Fairfield High School. Name of Jeremy Goodale. Jeremy Goodale was, in 2021, 16 years of age, born in 2005. Son of Dean and Christian Goodale, he grew up with 4 older siblings. It was a dysfunctional family for sure. They were a big one, and the parents were always more focused on work than on the kids. In fact, the person who looked after most of the family was the oldest child, Jackie Goodale. The parents would soon divorce, and Christine, the mother, she left the house to go live somewhere else with her boyfriend. The house, which was covered in flies, dirty laundry, and was just infested. The kids would bathe no more than twice a week. Jeremy slept in his clothes all the time. Yeah, wasn't a great situation. Now, Jeremy was described by his classmates as a quiet fella, circle of friends, not that large. He was on the baseball team, but he also had his own issues, ADHD, depression, and anxiety, and he was on prescriptions for them. He studied Spanish under Nohema Grabber, along with his best friend, Willard Jaden, he went often by his middle name, Miller. Jaden himself was also 16 years old, fellow student at Fairfield High, and not a very good one, especially at Spanish. He'd only recently enough transferred from another school in town. He had previously attended Maharishi School, a prestigious enough school that incorporates transcendental meditation into the school routine twice a day. These snapshots had been sent out on November the 2nd.
Who the fuck would send out all these pictures, man? Some of these damn criminals, murderers, / ignorant motherfuckers are really like ignorant, man. Like, dude, you telling on yourself. Look at that. Time to hide a body. Clorox in the damn picture. Bro, like, it then if somebody pop up missing, who we gonna look at? We gonna look at your ass. Somebody pop up missing in the vicinity that you connected with your damn teacher. We gonna look at you. Like, it seems like some of them be wanting to get caught. Or they just want the attention. But it's just so sad that they taking somebody's life to do whatever they want to get accomplished.
You know, the motto of Fairfield High School is dream, think, lead, act. This is like one of those situations where you don't want to do that. Police were led to both students, Chiden and Jeremy, almost immediately from the student who reported the seeing those Snapchats, which are, well, not great. Another student said that on November 3rd, which is the day she was reported missing, she hadn't shown up for school, another student said Chiden had said he had, quote, caught someone with a baseball bat. And then another student will come over separately and say to the police, yeah, Chiden had said something like, Miss Grabber might, she might disappear soon, so don't get too attached. A search of Jeremy Goodale's home would reveal the murder weapon, a baseball bat, along with some of her clothing and strands of her hair and blood. And a note was found on Chaden's phone, titled Prep. It listed that they needed the following items. Items included plastic gloves, wet wipes, backpack, hammer, Ziploc bag. However, procedure, the following segment of that note on his iPhone, not great. Stun, move off trail, empty compartments, load cargo, blanket cargo, deactivate compartment contents, leave bag by exit, transport, empty transport, finalize the win, secure victory, move the sticks, wipe down tools, dispose article, and grab bag by exit. Done. So I can only think of a couple of things what procedure would mean. None of them good. None of them good. Even if it's not murder. That's like, it's some weird shit. It seems that the entire thing had started out by being a dark joke between the two fellows. Them saying, oh, Spanish teacher, Miss Raver, you know, she's a bitch, whatever. You know, venting their frustration about her grading system. What started out as a dark joke then escalated into, hey, you know, we should kill her. And pretty soon, we should kill her. Then, they did kill her.
And I had it wrong at the beginning, y'all, because I was thinking that like a child was getting bad grades and they mama or daddy or guardian or whoever end up murdering them for it. And I know that sounds crazy, but it has happened. But this is still crazy because they got mad at their teacher because they getting the damn bad grades and murdered her. So it's still just freaking crazy, man.
The two students who are charged with her death did go to school here at Fairfield High. It's also where Graber worked and now where other students we spoke with are grieving.
It feels like something that would happen in TV. Like definitely not something that would happen in like small town Iowa.
But it did, and now the community of Fairfield is mourning the loss of well-loved teacher Nohema Graber.
Her overall like energy was very good. I would walk past her in the halls and she would say hi to almost every single student.
She stopped me, she'd talk about like life, she'd talk about the sports I do.
A Spanish teacher at Fairfield High, known by many as someone who enjoyed walking the paths of Chautauqua Park. That's where investigators found her body Wednesday. Signs of trauma to her head, but police haven't said how she died.
Everyone liked her. Like, I don't get why someone would do this. Because, like, who hates her? She's nice.
Court documents detail the work investigators put in. They talked to someone who knew one of the suspects. That interview led police to social media messages. That was enough for investigators to get a warrant. Clothing with bloodstains were found in the suspect's home. Soon after, police arrested 16-year-olds Willard Miller and Jeremy Goodale.
I knew the kids that did it. I had them in my classes, so I was really shocked when I heard that.
But students and the Fairfield community are more shocked by Graber's death. She was more than just a teacher. A recent grad shared this picture of KCCI. She noted Graber's smiling face, calling her beautiful both inside and out.
I guess one reason that this video pissing me off more than others is because for some reason, man, I keep thinking about my mama, man. Like for some reason, this lady just reminded me of my mama. You know, an elderly woman who have raised a family and have just, you know, did everything the right way. And my mama still is a teacher. You know what I'm saying? So that correlates with it. And I just can't imagine somebody just freaking attacking my mama walking in a park for no freaking reason. Even though they probably they claim they have a reason, but they reason ain't no reason. That is not a fucking reason, bro. That is fucking garbage, man. Get the fuck out my face with that bullshit. Let's go.
See, they'd followed Nahima, their Spanish teacher, to the park they knew she always walked at. The murder had been planned for weeks in advance. And there, in a lonely place, they ambushed her, taking turns striking her with a baseball bat, beating her to death. Then, they hid the body in the woods near the rail line and disposed of her car.
You mentioned where you're helping out with the investigation, trying to figure out with this waiver. What do you think? It's kind of like, she's a very routine person. Do you know of anybody out there that would have serious gripe with Ms. Graver that may want to hurt her or something? They probably like her. She's kind of an asshole sometimes. Not really sure if I heard her. I don't know. Okay, so were you involved? You were not involved. I have no idea. Usually people, like, there's another time you can find out something in a small town. I haven't heard anything.
Man, first of all, he lying. That's first of all, he lying, and he shouldn't be. I mean, at this point, you dumbass motherfucker, you caught. You lying for no reason. But second of all, y'all, rewind it if you ain't see it. He's smiling and laughing. He got a smile on his face about the whole situation, man. Even if you was innocent, you wouldn't be laughing and talking about, yeah, a lot of people think she an asshole. Like, these people, man. Sometimes I just want to give up on humanity, y'all. Like, I just want to just give up on this shit. Like, we are cursed from fucking birth till death. All of us. Just the fact we gotta live amongst people like this, we cursed.
Can you think of any reason why somebody might say you were involved? Because we got that in the past. Okay. But like, with a little bit more specific, like anybody might say like, you know, I know for a fact he was involved. Not I think he was, but I know for a fact he was. What's the question? The question is there any reason why somebody might say like, I definitely think not other than us arguing in the class. Okay. Yeah. And so one of the areas that we're really looking into, and you talked about Ms. Graver's routines, right? And so we're talking to a lot of people, we can figure out what her routines are, right? And so one of the areas that we're really focusing on is where she would go on her routine walks when she got done with school out of that. Maybe you can help me with the pronunciation. That's exactly right, for Tuesday night. Is there any reason why somebody might put you out of Chicago? I looked like other people, and I was wearing a black hoodie.
Now, the two teens initially gave different stories about what had actually happened that day. Yep. Willard Scheiden Miller said that, yeah, he had been in the park on November 2nd after school, but he'd just been walking around. He spotted his Spanish teacher. He gave her an old, Buenos dias. Yeah, I failed Spanish. But then a roving gang of masked teenagers had made him kill her and dispose of her body. That's what happened. One of them good old roving gangs of masked teenagers who force you to kill people. They're at it again. Shockingly, that wasn't very believable. He would eventually tell a version of the truth. Both would. And both would say it was the other's idea, that they were simply acting as a lookout while the other did the first blow. Ultimately, Scheiden would say he never actually hit her. He was the lookout the entire time, but he never touched a baseball bat, while Jeremy would say he was the lookout, but he didn't do the first blow, he did the second blow. He saw Scheiden beat her, and then he looked over, saw she was still alive, took the baseball bat off him, went at her.
And you see how goddamn partners in crime end up turning on each other when shit get real. Now they claim that you did, and I ain't have nothing to do with it other than I was just the lookout. Both of them telling that bullshit story. What I believe is both of them literally was beating that woman to death. I believe both of them jumped on her. It wasn't no damn lookout. Both y'all was looking out, but y'all was also murdering that lady, man. Rest in peace to her, man. They both full of shit, y'all. Long story short, short story long.
The two Fairfield teens accused of killing a high school Spanish teacher entered a plea of not guilty today. Jeremy Goodale and Willard Miller, both 16 years old, are charged with her death.
Both would enter pleas of not guilty to the first-degree murder and conspiracy charge. So why all of this? Well, see, it all stemmed from a letter. The letter being F. F for fuckhead. But the letter F is also the grade Chiden received in Spanish class.
Fairfield teens accused of killing his Spanish teacher was in court today. Attorneys for 16-year-old Willard Miller is asking for his murder case to be moved to juvenile court. Investigators say Miller, along with Jeremy Goodale, plotted to kill 66-year-old Noema Graber. Her body was found in a Fairfield park last November. Psychiatrists say the best place for Miller is in a juvenile facility where he'll get the right services.
I believe that Chaden's potential for rehabilitation is quite positive. I believe that, on the other hand, should he be...
Jeremy Goodale, who is now 17, was in court last week asking that his trial also be moved to juvenile court. The judge has yet to issue a ruling in that case.
He was not happy about this, as it would bring down his overall GPA, and also due to this low grade, that meant he could not go on a trip the Spanish class was planning, a trip to Spain. This made him furious, and he was seen arguing with Noema about this shortly before she left school, the day she was killed. Searches on Willard Chiden's phone, shortly before the murder, include some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Probably that you will hear too. They included: do students receive credit for a class if the professor is seriously injured or dies more than halfway through the course? What happens to students' work if the teacher dies in the middle of a term? From what has been released, it seems that Chiden was the driving force behind the murder of Noema, all because he failed her class. Jeremy had his own issues, was emotionally volatile, and probably easily manipulated too, and so he went along with the entire plan.
And we discussed kind of a plan of, like I'll stand up here, look out, walk up behind her, and then I think we walked back out onto the trail to wait for Miss Graber to show up. And I can't remember if we saw her drive in or if we noticed her van and then knew she was there. We bumped into her on the trail, and all said, "Oh, hi, how are you?" And then we kept walking. He kind of gave me like a nod, saying, "Here she comes." And I gave him the signal that it's all clear, and then she walked by and he hit her in the back of the head, and then I said, "Holy shit, make sure she's dead." So we hit her a couple more times. I heard some gurgling coming from Miss Graber, and I grabbed the bat, and that's when I made sure she didn't have to continue living in that state.
Mm-hmm. And so going into November 2nd, with the agreement, you've done your surveillance. What ultimately is the plan?
Hit her with a bat and drag her off the trail.
Okay. The plan is he's going to hit her in the head, you're going to say watch out, and then you're going to together remove her from the trail. What's the plan after that?
There wasn't really a plan beyond that.
Like hide the body, bury the body, save the body?
At that time, we were going to hide the body and have it come out so that we could
in our arrogance, we kind of assumed that nobody would ever find her against like other than
Jeremy Goodale.
Just hearing him saying that story is unreal, but I also don't like fully believe everything he was saying in that. I don't believe either one of them. Only thing I believe is that they both murdered that lady.
Would later plead guilty and in fact agreed to testify against his best friend, Jayden, when it came to his trial.
Is it your personal desire to accept this plea agreement and proceed today to plead guilty to the crime of murder in the first degree?
Yes, sir.
However, Jayden's trial never came, as Jayden too would plead guilty to murder. So instead, for both, it would be straight to sentencing. Iowa does not permit juveniles to be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Willard Jayden Miller was up first, and in July of 2023, he was ultimately sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 35 years. Another tragedy in this case is that Paul Grabber, Naheem's beloved husband, he passed away a week before his wife's murderer was sentenced. He was just 68 years old, and he died on June 29, 2023 of advanced cancer that was diagnosed in March. His funeral was held a day before Jayden's sentencing. His family say he too was a victim of the murderers. If Naheem hadn't been killed, she would have been there for him, noticed his illness sooner, taken him to the doctor sooner, and he would have been able to treat the illness.
And I agree with that too, man. Like, I honestly feel like he ended up dying sooner because his wife was gone. Like, point blank period, man. Like, I feel like if Naheem had, still been alive, not only to just take care of him and take him to the doctor and stuff, but also just even when he found out after the fact that he had cancer, like, he would have just fought to live longer just because he still had his wife with him. You know what I'm saying? I feel, and that's speculation what I'm saying, but I know y'all get what I'm saying. Like, just the fact that he didn't have his wife here, he got cancer, and because I don't know about cancer like that, but from what I do know, I do feel like if you try to fight that, the people who fight it off the most and the hardest and the strongest are the best ones who have a chance to survive. And I think that he probably went trying to fight it off and still survive and live through it as much as he would if Naheem would have still been alive. Y'all get what I'm saying? Let's finish it up.
Mr. Miller, you have the right to make a statement. It's called allocution. Is there anything you'd like to say to me before I sentence you?
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to take this opportunity to wholeheartedly accept responsibility for the role that I've played in the murder of Naheem Graver. I would like to apologize for my actions, first and foremost, to the family. I'm sincerely sorry for the distress that I've caused you and the devastation I've caused your family. From the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry to hear about Paul Graver. I'm realizing just the magnitude of my actions, and I know it's wrong. I knew it was wrong, and yet I still carried through. I still did what I did. I ask that I'm given a chance, and I don't want to be institutionalized. I don't want to be in so long that I forget about what matters, where I come from, and what I need to do.
I think you're very fortunate, Mr. Miller, that the state of Iowa does not allow the option of life without the possibility of parole, because that would have been a serious consideration for me if I had that option.
Jeremy Goodale was sentenced in November 2023. He was given life in prison with the possibility of parole after 25 years. He, unlike Willard, did seem remorseful for what he did and had gone along with.
What I've taken can never be replaced. Every day I wish I could go back and stop myself. Prevent this loss and this pain that I've caused everyone. 2 years ago I made the worst decision of my life, and I take full responsibility for what I did. And today as a young man I can begin to pay for that.
That motherfucker bleeding out the nose. But no, y'all, for real, man. I don't give a damn about y'all apologies and what you got to say now. I don't give a fuck. Get your ass in this prison cell and stay there for the rest of your life, you motherfucker. If I was running shit around here, your ass would be on the electric chair. But for real, man, I don't care nothing about them apologies and stuff. That ain't bringing her back. Them people, just like you hurt them people and they hurt, you know what I'm saying, her family, that apology you just gave is not going to alleviate no pain. So get the hell out my face and take your ass to prison.
And that is the story of the brutal murder of Nohima Rabert, you know, a wonderful woman, a beloved teacher, who was killed for possibly the stupidest reason ever. Giving someone a bad grade. Something like which literally does not matter in the grand scale of things. And these two kids messed up? Very messed up. I mean, Jeremy Goodell, he seems like he came from a very broken home. He had his mental health issues. Seems like family environment was not very good. And so you can kind of see how, you know, the family had a history of substance abuse, so you can kind of see how he would be maybe manipulated into going along with this. Willard Scheiden Miller, though, nothing really about his background has ever been really released at all. So why he did it over a grade is kind of unknown, but it's very stupid. I'd say the motive is the stupidest thing in this case, but that would be incorrect. The stupidest thing in this case were the perpetrators who sent snapshots of what they did.
True.
Shanae?
True.
Thank you so much for watching. It really means the world to me, as always. Please subscribe to see new videos every week. Check out the Patreon for exclusive videos, early access videos. Check out the That Chapter podcast as well. Every Monday with a brand new episode covering different sorts of stories, older stories, other serial killers which I haven't talked about in the channel, so please check that out. And yeah, until the next one, please take care of each other. Please take care of yourselves, because I love you. Mike out.
Man, bro, I'm still irritated, y'all. Like, I'm just irritated at this one, man. These dudes had no reason to freaking kill that lady, man, other than a bad freaking grade. Like, that is just like, I just feel like if they wouldn't have killed her, they would have killed somebody. Like, and I don't know, Mike was like kind of conveying to us that one of the students only just went along or got peer pressured or whatever, manipulated into carrying it out with the first guy. I can't remember either one of their names, and I don't want to remember their names. You know what I'm saying? But even if that particular one got peer pressured, it's still just wrong and still just stupid, man. Rest in peace to Nohima, y'all. Like I said, this one right here, man, it just remind me of my mama, you know, in that elderly age, and raised all her kids, got grandkids, and was a teacher, and you know, my mama walk around or just even gotta be walking around in the park. This type stuff happen to elderly people at the grocery store, in the parking lot, or just anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And it's just freaking sad, man. It's just freaking sad, y'all. And they got life, but they still got a chance of parole. I think one of them after 25 years, the other one after 35 years. So what? They'll be like in their 50s, maybe 60s when they finally get a chance to possibly get out. But I hope they don't never get out, as always, y'all. Like I said, as always, man, I would have put the ass in the electric chair. I would go and get it over with. See, that's why I can't run the goddamn country. Because I run the country. All these murderers and shit. But yeah, you murder somebody, you go into the electric chair. I bet that'll stop a lot of these motherfuckers. I bet it'll stop a lot of them. I'm not saying it will stop all of them. But a lot of these little dumbass kills like this will probably cease to exist. I don't know. The last thing I just want to say too, I want to reiterate, is the fact that them, after they you know, they done been sentenced, so they about to get sentenced. Now you want to apologize and I'm sorry to the family, and you got, you know what I'm saying, giving this explanation or whatever. I don't want to hear none of that shit now, bro. Your sorries ain't helping me or my family at all. Fuck you. Long story short, story long, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go, man. I appreciate y'all coming on back once again on another That Chapter Wednesday. Another great video from Mike, as always. Y'all just make sure y'all hit that like button, comment, subscribe, do all that. And I'm gonna leave with this. Love, peace, and happiness. Stay safe. Don't stop. Keep going. Yeah.